You could smell it from 3 streets away. The smell of deep-fried dim Sims mixing with hot chips and that strange sweet smell of boiling Fritz. Walk into any school canteen in 1978, and that smell hit you like a wall. But it wasn't just the food. It was the sound of Mrs. Henderson yelling orders over the clatter of metal trays. The sight of 50 kids lined up with sweaty coins clutched in their fists. The feel of that brown paper bag, already going transparent with grease before you even got back to the quad. Australia in the late 70s and early 80s ate differently. Not better, not worse, just different. Before kebab shops, before sushi trains, before anyone in Penrith had heard the word quinoa. This was meat and 3 veg country. This was Golden Circle pineapple from a tin. This was Meadow Lay margarine because butter cost too much. But hidden in that beige boiled vegetable landscape were meals that defined childhood. Meals that vanished so completely that kids today would stare at them like artifacts from another planet. In 1980, the average Australian school canteen served maybe 8 items. 8. Today, some schools have menus with 40 options. Back then, you had your pie, your sausage roll, your vanilla slice if you were flush. And then you had the weird stuff, the things that made no sense but everyone ate anyway. The meals that existed in a specific time and place and then disappeared like they never happened. We tracked down 10 meals that ruled Australian plates in the 70s and 80s. Real meals, not fancy, not exotic, just the food that filled bellies from Broome to Burnie. Some of them you will remember instantly. Others might make you question if they were ever real, but every single one of them is gone now. Vanished, replaced by something shinier, faster, or cheaper. And fair warning, some of these might hit you right in the nostalgia, or they might make you wonder what the hell we were thinking. The first one starts in a milk bar near the railway line in outer Melbourne, summer of 1979. A kid named Darvo walks in with 35 cents and walks out with something that would never appear on a menu today. Something that sounds insane when you say it out loud. But back then it was just Tuesday lunch. Every Friday after school, kids would line up at the milk bar for Chico rolls. Not spring rolls, not dim Sims. Chico rolls, those greasy tubes of cabbage, barley and meat that you could not identify if your life depended on it. They came wrapped in white paper that turned see-through within seconds. You ate them walking home, burning your mouth on the filling that was somehow always lava hot, while the pastry stayed lukewarm. By the time you got to your front door, the paper bag was stuck to your hands, and your fingers smelled like vegetable oil for hours. Then there were the Cheerios, little red sausages swimming in tomato sauce. That's it. That's the meal. School canteens served them in white. Bread rolls, or just loose in a paper bag with a wooden fork. Kids called them Cheerios in Victoria, little boys in Queensland. Cocktail Franks in posh suburbs. The tomato sauce was always Rosella or Eater, always. The sausages came from massive tins that sat in warming trays all morning. They tasted like salt and nostalgia. You could get 6 Cheerios and a bread roll for 40 cents. That was lunch. Nobody questioned it. Every Thursday, RSL clubs across Australia served the same meal. Crumbed chicken schnitzel the size of a dinner plate. Chips, 3 slices of tinned beetroot, maybe some coleslaw from a bucket. The schnitzel hung over the edge of the plate. It cost $2.50. The pokies rattled in the background. Old blokes in lawn bowls shirts lined the counter. The schnitzel was always overcooked, always dry, always needed 3 pumps of tomato sauce. But it was massive and cheap. And you left feeling like you had conquered something. Devon sandwiches ruled lunchboxes across the country. White bread, margarine, 3 thick slices of Devon. That pink mystery meat that came in wheels at the deli. Some kids got tomato, some got lettuce if their mum was fancy. Most got Devon, margarine, nothing else. The sandwiches sat in lunchboxes since 7 in the morning, getting warm and slightly sweaty by noon. The Devon left grease marks on the bread. Nobody cared. It was protein. It was cheap. A single wheel of Devon could make sandwiches for a week. Then suddenly, sometime in the late 80s, Devon disappeared from lunchboxes, replaced by chicken, by cheese, by anything else. South Australia had the pie floater, a meat pie flipped upside down in a bowl of pea soup, topped with tomato sauce, sold from pie carts outside pubs at midnight. It looked like something dredged from a swamp. It tasted like drunk food perfection. The pie would slowly fall apart into the soup until you were eating pie-flavoured mush with a spoon. Pie floaters were everywhere in Adelaide in the 70s. Pie carts on every corner after dark. Then health regulations changed. Tastes changed. The carts vanished. Now there's maybe one left, a tourist attraction serving nostalgia to people who remember. Every Australian mother made rissoles, mince meat mixed with breadcrumbs, onion, egg, formed into patties, fried until they were brown and slightly burnt on the edges, served with mashed potato and white sauce made from gravox. The white sauce came from a packet. You mixed it with milk and butter, whisked it until the lumps were mostly gone. It tasted like nothing and everything. The rissoles were dense, chewy. They sat heavy in your stomach. But they were dinner. Monday through Thursday, somewhere in Australia, a mother was standing over a fry pan making rissoles. Then food changed. Cooking shows appeared. People discovered basil. Suddenly, rissoles were daggy, old-fashioned. By 1990, they had vanished from most tables, replaced by stir-fries and pasta. The rissole became a punchline, a symbol of boring food from a boring time. Every caravan park from Coffs Harbour to Exmouth had the same breakfast setup. A communal barbecue area, metal hot plates crusted with old fat. You would wake up in your family's Viscount van, pull on your thongs and shuffle over with a frying pan. Eggs, bacon, white bread toast done on the hot plate, maybe a tin of SPC baked beans warming on the side. The bacon was always streaky, always from a crinkled plastic packet kept in the esky. It spat fat everywhere. The eggs cooked in the bacon grease until the edges were crispy and brown. You ate standing up, plate balanced on the BBQ's bricks around, while your dad complained about the people in the Winnebago taking up 2 spots. That breakfast tasted like freedom, like summer, like a week away from meatloaf and boiled cabbage. Now caravan parks have rules, designated cooking times. Some banned open flames entirely. The communal BBQ breakfast is dead. Saturday afternoon, someone's mum had baked Lamingtons, not bought them, baked them. Sponge cake cut into squares, dipped in chocolate icing, rolled in desiccated coconut. They sat on a wire rack in the kitchen, still slightly warm. Kids appeared from 3 houses away, drawn by some telepathic Lamington scents. You would sit at the kitchen table, Lamingtons on a plate, Cottee's cordial in a plastic jug, orange or lime, mixed so weak you could see through it. The Lamingtons shed coconut everywhere. Your fingers turned brown with chocolate. You would eat 3, maybe 4, until your mother said that's enough or you will spoil your tea. This was not a birthday, was not Christmas, just a random Saturday. But it felt special because someone had made something, used their hands, turned flour and eggs and cocoa into something worth gathering around. Then, somewhere between 1985 and 1995, home baking died. People got busy, bought Tim Tams instead. The Lamingtons survived in bakeries and fundraisers, but the afternoon tea vanished. The ritual of gathering around someone's mum's kitchen table while the cordial sweated in its plastic jug, gone. And with it, something about how we treated time. Out past Dubbo, out where the roads turned to dirt, shearing sheds had their own food culture. The cook would arrive before dawn. By smoko, there would be massive trays of scones, rock cakes, Anzac biscuits hard enough to break teeth. Lunch was always the same. A roast, lamb or mutton from a sheep too old to sell. Roasted in a camp oven over coals, served with boiled potatoes and pumpkin. Gravy made from the pan drippings and flour. The shearers would file in, covered in lanolin and sweat, and demolish everything. No talking, just eating. Forks scraping plates, tea poured from billies, then back to work. This happened daily during shearing season. The cook was always a woman, usually someone's wife or mother. She would cook for 30 men 3 times a day in a kitchen that was basically a shed with a wood stove. The meals were plain, massive, designed for men doing back-breaking labor in 40-degree heat. Then shearing crews got smaller, machinery changed, the old shed kitchens closed. Now shearers bring their own lunch, protein bars, energy drinks. The cook-up vanished with the old way of working. Nobody makes scones for 30 at 5 in the morning anymore. That knowledge died with the women who did it. Here's the weird one, the meal that makes you question if it was real. But according to old accounts from the time, this actually happened. Certain corner stores, usually Greek-run, had a back room with a grill. Not a restaurant, just a store that also cooked food. You could order a mixed grill, lamb chop, sausage, egg, chips, all done on the same hot plate they used for souvlaki, served on a paper plate, eaten standing at the counter or taken away wrapped in butcher's paper. This was not advertised, you just had to know. The bloke who ran the shop near the railway line in Footscray did it. So did the woman at the corner store in West End, Brisbane. You would walk in for milk and cigarettes and walk out with a full cooked meal for $3. The health department had opinions about this arrangement. By 1987, most of these places had shut down or stopped cooking. But for a brief window in Australian history, you could get a mixed grill from the same place that sold you bread and newspapers. And nobody thought it was strange. So, what happened? Why did all of this vanish? It was not just taste, it was not just health regulations or changing times, it was something bigger. These meals existed in a specific Australia, an Australia where corner stores knew your family, where school canteens were run by someone's mum, where food was fuel, not an Instagram story, where eating was communal, functional, simple. Then supermarkets expanded, franchises arrived, food became globalized, sanitized, branded. We did not lose meals. We lost the entire system that created them. And maybe that's what we are really mourning, not the Cheerios, the world that made them normal.